Is it just me, or does that look like a Borstal to you? Where are the windows? Huh? We build Europe's smallest houses that leak heat, and that has led us all to live very insular lives in narrow, poky, dark houses.
5 years ago, driven by a passion to try and make a difference, I set out to build a new kind of community.
This is the site. This is the new site.
In the toughest end of the market, mixing low-cost and social housing.
I don't want to build 3 houses, I want to build 50.
I want to prove that even for 160 grand, you can live in a contemporary, beautifully designed 3-bed eco-home that feels bigger and lighter.
I want it to be the best, I want it to be the cheapest, I want it to be the most sustainable, the least mediocre.
But that's not all. I also want to create a new kind of mixed community.
The person who lives here was homeless. The person who lives here has just bought it.
Where people will feel happier.
They really believe it's going to change their lives, don't they?
But so far, I've struggled to find a site.
People do not want houses at the bottom of their garden.
An architect.
I've just wasted an enormous sum of money.
Or get the builders to do the best on a budget.
Where's the grass? Bog standard.
And with just 20 weeks to go...
You just want stuff to bloody happen, don't you?
The project's way behind.
Kick, bollock, scramble.
I need to get residents to buy into my vision of the good life.
It is fundamentally, in the end, about sharing.
I don't do digging.
And agree some shared rules.
I think this is a community and not a retirement home.
But if I can pull off my own grand design, there's a chance it could change the way we build across Britain and put happiness back into housing.
If you want to judge me when the houses are built, when people are moved in. Judge the finished project. Developers are people who cut down trees and then name the places they're building after them. Bay Tree Court, not a bay tree there. Do you think there's a lilac in Lilac Court?
I want to do things differently.
The scheme is really about trying to make people more content and more sociable and happier by giving them a more delightful environment where they're encouraged to interact more. It's that simple. The thing is, it's slightly unproven. I believe it's going to work, utterly believe it's going to work, but until I see it happen, I can't be confident.
I hope my homes will offer an antidote to some of our social problems. It isn't just about beautiful houses. I believe good architecture can make you feel proud of where you live and feel part of a community. But all that depends on getting people to share my view.
Hello, nice to meet you.
And you, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Who's this?
Mum of 3, Helen, and builder Jamie are hoping to give up their council house and buy a home in my utopian village.
I definitely do not want to continue to bring my kids up in this place.
Yeah.
Not anymore. It's just the whole area is... People don't look after their kids around here, you know what I mean? Not at all.
It's just stressful. You know, our car gets scratched. The children play noughts and crosses on our car. We had the police out last week where Sophie was assaulted, walking just down the little pathway.
So what is it that you're looking forward to when you go?
Like doing all planting with Mummy and then going out in the Triangle and like meeting new people and playing with us.
Extraordinary to be a prisoner in your own home like that, to feel that you can't let your kids out at all. I can feel the responsibility kind of bearing down on me, you know. God, that, you know, these people really are expecting it to make their lives happier.
My test estate in Swindon aims to prove that good design shouldn't be just for the rich. The 2, 3 and 4 bedroom houses are arranged in a triangle around a wild meadow village green. Instead of big private gardens, we've made space for 2 shared vegetable patches to get residents working together. Each house has an open plan layout and higher ceilings to maximise living space. The walls are made of a new low-carbon, super-insulating product called hempcrete, which should slash the heating bills. And the homes are fitted with simple eco-technologies, like natural stack ventilation for summer cooling. But my cooling chimneys aren't on yet. The project's running 2 months behind schedule.
There's a man looking at his critical path. Is it still a shit heap out there, or is it... or is it...
No, don't mince your words. Yeah, it's a bit different when you was last here.
I will simply delight then in the joy of not seeing a mud bath.
At least the roof tiles are finally going on. We can't afford fancy ones, but I'm hoping to recreate the shimmering effect I saw on the Sydney Opera House by mixing bog-standard matte and shiny tiles.
Lovely job, beautiful job on the roofs, really beautiful.
We've also chosen to invest where it really counts, on bespoke, big, tall doors and windows.
Look how high the front door is, look.
For the same price as standard houses, I think we've managed to create homes that feel light and spacious.
Great windows.
But I'm not allowed to bask for long.
I don't really understand the design, to be honest.
Oh no, don't say that!
There just don't seem to be a lot of light.
I've opened a can of worms here.
What do you think to the scheme?
It's not too bad.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's certainly different.
They're not just grumbling, there are some real design issues.
It's just a real dark room, you know? It's like your bedroom's really dark, and in the winter, you can't see anything. And then there's that, this little... I don't really understand why you've just blocked that out, and you're just blocking out unnecessary light.
To stop our super insulated hemp homes from overheating, the first floor window was designed with a blanked off panel.
I mean, that's my main concern about the whole thing, to be honest.
I'm starting to think it's a major mistake. I'd rather wake up to a view.
If it was my house, that's what I would prefer.
I think that's what all residents would prefer, frankly, and I would too.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm afraid, in the end, common sense and taste wins over issues of thermal performance.
Shoot the designer.
Thanks very much.
Glazing all the vents will come out of any profits we might make, but it has to be worth it. Across town, my partners, the Housing Association, have received the details for 21 prospective council tenants.
Hello.
Before we accept them into the triangle, we want to find out if they'll sign up to our green agenda.
There's kitchen gardens there and you can grow your own vegetables. Are you quite interested in that sort of thing?
I think the only thing I've ever grown is tomatoes out of grow bags.
It's like the window boxes at the pub, wasn't it? We did all those now.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever done.
Love gardening. I used to have an allotment. He loves gardening as well. So, yeah.
Any pets that will be moving with you? And I'm looking at cats and dogs here.
No, I've only got rabbits. I mean, I have got a dog.
Right, okay.
He's got a bit of behavioural problems at the moment, so we're trying to get him, we want to get him castrated, and if he gets too bad, then we are going to get rid of him.
Like this.
Mum of two, Laura, has been waiting for a council house for 7 years.
There'll be a garden. See that garden there? Yeah. That's where everyone can play together, so you might meet new friends.
They don't want any old riffraff in there. They want to make sure that it's going to be the best. So fingers crossed I'm one of them.
Bye. Bye.
The Housing Association make their selection, and Laura's going to be one of them. That's half the houses taken care of. We had planned to sell the other ones to get a good social mix of residents. But now, with house prices collapsing, our best choice is to rent them to private tenants with the option to buy later. This is aimed at policemen, policewomen, teachers, nurses, local authority workers, people who are going to opt onto our rent-to-buy scheme. To pull in the punters, I really need to sell them my vision.
I'll cycle to work. One day I'll cycle to work. One day I'll be beautiful. One day I'll be happy. I'll bake my own bread. I'd rather like that just because, well, I'll learn to bake. One day I'll lose weight. One day I'll save some money. One day I'll change the world. I like that.
As well as fostering healthy lives, I'm hoping my homes will feel like they belong here in Swindon. We've branded the houses 6 different colours, a contemporary reinterpretation of the surrounding streets. Our special ventilation chimneys are also painted to match, Their design sort of harks back to the local railway cottages.
Nice colour, nice colour. It's good. Oh yeah, there is a colour difference, isn't it? It's
very subtle, yeah.
It's not huge, but I guess from a distance you'll notice it while it's being a tone darker, isn't it? A tone or two darker. What do you think about the colours, Russell?
Oh, I love them too.
You liar! You liar! The real difficulty is going to be putting the right hat on the right house, because nobody bothers to write the colours on the cowls.
Ready then?
3 months late, and Russell's ready to hoist the quarter-ton, 6-foot, hand-built, lead-trimmed chimney cowls into position. But he's struggling a bit with my Swindon colour palette.
They all look bloody same, aren't they? Just trying to distinguish the colours. That's the duck heck, isn't it?
All 36 cowls have to be craned back down and sorted out.
Right, we've got what I'd class as a beigey sand colour on the end. Then we've got the cream, the white, I mean, the lighter cream. Then we've got a cream colour. There's very subtle shading on some of these. Then on this one, it's what I call a duck egg, because it's got a slight greeny tinge to it. The difficulty comes when we're trying to match the 3 different cream colours. Now we've got them out, we've grouped them into pairs, so we've now got an idea what they are. Trust me, it'll work. That's what they said when they launched the Titanic.
The outsides are coming along, but I get a sinking feeling when I go inside.
He's going to have to get junked.
What do you expect for less than £1,000 a kitchen?
Although the builders haven't finished yet, I do worry that these houses will never feel like a grand design.
No, wobbly.
We're doing everything we're doing for a standard price. Great, and it actually, look, you know, I mean, that is anodised aluminium, that door frame, it's beautiful. The render's going to look beautiful. The roofs are a wonderful thing. And those cowls are putting on, fantastic. Trouble is that when something doesn't work, when something is in the case of those kitchens, quite obviously a £900 kitchen, when it's kind of really at the very, it sort of drops off the bottom of the scale.
There's nothing wrong with the kitchens. We've got an issue with worktops, we're dealing with that. We've got a few setting out issues that we've discussed and agreed on site. There's nothing to replace. You know, this isn't a scheme that's got a £3,000 kitchen in.
Got to go and write an email now. Some days I wake up, or some nights I wake up in a sweat, thinking about all the things that are going wrong. And in a way, the more, you know, the closer we get to moving people in, the more I worry, because the more I feel like I'm going to have to apologise to people, and the more I think, you know, in the end, we're going to say, we wanted to give you this amazing thing, and we're giving you quite a nice thing. And I'm really sorry it's not amazing. We build these houses in Britain which are really small because land's really expensive, and to give people that sense that the space they own doesn't just stop at the front door, at the gate, that it carries on, you know, that it's theirs. I think that's really important.
On my grand design, I've made a bold decision to shrink the private gardens in exchange for more communal space.
I think it would give people who come from backgrounds where they haven't been able to determine so much of their lives and control so much of their lives, a real sort of sense of empowerment. I hope so.
We've designed it so that 50% of the land at the Triangle is for sharing, and as part of a novel experiment, I want the residents to own it.
There's the risk that people don't take an interest. There's the risk that actually being told they own something is perhaps just a burden. There's the risk that people think, yeah, actually we just need some more parking, and who gives a sod about the vegetables? Let's just dig up the vegetable garden and tarmac it.
But to give my ideas a fighting chance, I need to really enthuse the residents.
Today's epic. Today I meet the residents for the first time. It's going to be great, and not only meet them, but sort of go on a trip with them. In typical fashion, I brought my packed lunch, and my thermos flask, I've already drunk all my tea and eaten my sandwiches.
In the run-up to moving day, there'll be a series of voluntary trips and workshops to help bring the residents together and help them think of themselves as a community.
Hello, Kevin, how are you?
Hi.
Are you moving in as well?
We are, yeah.
3 bed, 2 bed,
Three bed.
3 bed, brilliant.
Yeah.
Ready to do some digging, aren't we? In our digging clothes. I mean, I grow things anyway, so this is just like a little insight, really, because you can always learn more. So I'm just hoping that they're sort of like-minded, really.
Well, where we live at the moment, we haven't actually got a garden.
I'm not green-fingered.
Never been into organic.
I kill
so-
everything.
Does anybody want to go to the loo before we go?
Should have put my trainers on, really.
It's the first opportunity for me and our landscape architect Luke to sell them our vision of the good life.
That's a nice rhubarb forcer. Lots of the planting is edible.
And we've sneaked in some kiwi vines around the corner as well.
And we've got espalier apple trees up against one of the gables. Gooseberries, raspberries. When you collectively own something, you've got to collectively manage it and look after it and share responsibility and interest in it. And I think that's the next biggest challenge, really, is how 42 homes get to manage and look after what you've got and share it out. And it is fundamentally, in the end, about sharing. Although we're saying it's up to you, don't feel as though we're just leaving you to it. We're here to help and support you as well. But it's up to you. It is up to you to decide how you want to run it.
I won't be digging. I don't do digging.
We want to have a bash at it. I'm interested, but I wouldn't like to sort of go every day.
It is nice.
Have you ever heard of Mizuno?
Melons.
I'm just putting my name onto my...
If you all grow a bit, you all try a bit.
I don't mind anyway, because I don't eat vegetables. They can nick anything like that, but they put their hands on my sweet peas and that'll be it.
Hopefully we will all get on, but you never know, do you?
On site, 36 chimney cowls are at last hoisted into place, and the scaffolding has started coming down, revealing the facade for the first time.
Really works. Really works. And I've got to take some photos. When I see those cows, I see 2 years of head scratching. Trying to get them to figure out how we're going to make them durable, last, wind resistant. And actually they look completely splendid. And it looks like Russell's got the colours right, you know? I mean, I'll kill him if he didn't.
To stop the street becoming cluttered with bins and cars, our design team have devised some unusual screens.
These gabions are really something. And look how big they are. Look, I mean, they're sort of this high. You put the bins behind, so they kind of hide all that. And they're going to be great for wildlife. You can get lizards, you get small minor bees, even birds nesting in here, you know. They're going to be a great sort of biodiverse kind of little micro hub for wildlife.
I'm pleased, but I had hoped the houses would be nearer completion in time for a big red-letter day. The resident inspection.
We're late. Sorry.
I know this hat. They could have, made it at least pink.
This is going to be great fun, this is, with this stupid hat. Come on then, off we go.
Publican Tracy doesn't hold back.
Metal windows. I wonder why they would have metal windows, right? I don't know if I like the doors either. Well, they're a bit naff, aren't they? Good, but the colour. I don't know what that's all about.
A little bit strange. Just might as well have just put brick there. It's like a pointless blind, really, isn't it?
Julie's spotted the vent that I think needs to be turned into a window.
Are these having glass in, or are they just leaving them like that?
Oh dear.
So,
Is there an attic?
There's a roof space, but we wouldn't recommend you go up there at all to store anything.
I've got loads of storage where I lie out cupboards all over the place that are full.
There's no storage for linen. You've got nowhere to put a suitcase. You've got nowhere to put anything. You can't use the attic.
No, you can't.
Where do you put sheets, towels, pillowcases, spare curtains? That's the only thing.
There's basically no storage. There's one cupboard downstairs for your washing machine. That's as far as your storage goes. No loft space, which I was counting on, really. You can tell Amanda signed it.
I'm on the case of replacing the panelled windows, but the storage issue really upsets me. It's something that got cut because of costs, and it might have been a mistake.
Hello. How are you? You expecting me?
Yes, I am. I was just coming out for a naughty fag.
Mum of two, Laura, has invited me round to show me just how much stuff the modern family has.
Well, I better pick that up, anyway, that's it.
Oh, it's a sea of pink. It looks like a toy explosion. What happens when she goes off pink? That's going to be a major crisis then. They are plastic magnets, children. They just, attract all this stuff. Oh, I can see more bloody pink plastic.
But that's all my Christmas decorations and that.
Okay. No, I'm going to go to the architects to discuss storage now.
Yeah, lots of storage. Lots.
Yeah, lots.
Storage. Yes.
Thanks, Laura. Thanks.
See, what you needed really is you needed a mother to come and help you build these houses and design them.
Yeah.
I could have showed you what storage we needed.
Yes. It's a very large warehouse.
There's only one thing for it. I need to find a way to use the loft space without damaging the sheepswool insulation.
I think it would be far better to take some timbers across through the trusses, nailing there, and there, and then put some boards out just above the insulation. That would be quite cheap. Got to use this.
With the move date fast approaching and more private renters signed up...
This is one of ours, I think. Get yourself in there. Biscuit, free biscuit, only one biscuit.
We need to start uniting this mixed bunch. We're using a psychotherapist and community mediation specialist to help them make some rules.
Neighbourhood...
Agreement.
Trying to get on with your neighbours, I hope.
How we behave. So no loud parties.
Yeah.
Why me?
Well, you're the noisy one beside the bird.
Everyone gets on together and you can all thrash everything out and everyone's happy. I think it's a good thing, isn't it?
I think it'll be good.
I like the idea of it and I hope it works. I don't think it'll be sort of all peace and love sitting around a campfire on a Friday night.
70 adults, 44 kids and 53 pets will all be living side by side with just one set of rules.
First thing I thought we should do is just think about putting together a good neighbour agreement. What we can expect of each other.
No spitting.
Oh yeah, no spitting.
Seriously, I've seen
No spitting. No, you can't put that.
Be aware of noise level after midnight. I mean, you could do midweek from 7 because that's when kids go to bed.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. So after midnight on weekends, yeah?
Yeah, possibly, yeah. And 7 p.m. weekdays.
But it's not easy getting everyone to agree.
I think that's extreme. Some of these have gone a bit over the top, haven't they?
7 o'clock. I'm up till 1 in the morning watching TV. We're all sitting down, laying the law down, and we're not even moved in there. We're going to all start doing all this and creating a problem before we even get the keys in the hands, haven't you? Yeah. You've got to all sit down and say, right, let's all just agree. We'll all start off, and when we get a problem, then we'll address it.
We did think this is a community and not a retirement home.
My parrot making a racket might be unacceptable to a neighbour. Somebody else thinks, well, it's a parrot, it's an animal, So we'll find out when we move in, won't we?
It's not just getting the community to gel that's proving difficult. The builders still haven't made up the time they lost in the bad winter.
We've got loads to do. We've got bathrooms, some kitchens, we're still dry lining some of the flats, we've got roofs to finish off, scaffold to drop, some services to connect, touching up to do, toilets to fit, tiling. God, there's a lot to do.
And residents expect to move in here in just 21 days. I'm worried all our community bonding will go to waste, so I've called an emergency meeting with the construction firm.
What the bloody hell do we do now to get the thing finished and to get it finished well? People forgetting to email each other or just not doing something or reverting to standard operating procedure, bog standard. We've got a lot of machinery on site, we've still got a lot of houses to finish. We've still got scaffolding up and we're planning on moving residents in, at least in theory, on paper, in the next 3 weeks, And it's not a... I don't think it's a safe place at the moment.
The bosses assure me it'll speed up.
Yeah, that's the whole point of this thing, is to really give confidence that we're going to finish it on those days.
Good to see you, Tim. Thanks for coming. And you, Paul, thanks for coming. I just, it's tight, isn't it?
There are 2 blocks of flats, and these will be the last to get finished.
Hello? Hello, Clint?
Meaning that MS sufferer Clint will be one of the most delayed.
Come on in.
He's desperately waiting for a ground floor apartment.
You must find the stairs difficult here, don't you?
Yeah, terrible. Because it's upstairs and I've got the disability. Sometimes I'm sort of like on my own.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, but you just get used to that.
So, do you know many of the people live around here?
A lot of them have moved away. It's like a one-bed place, isn't it? So they don't stay for long. It would be interesting for me to mix.
I hope it suits you, and I really hope it works out. Take it easy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
brilliant.
take care.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming around.
No, great pleasure. There's no doubt that his life is isolating. It isolates him. If I came back in a year and I saw Clint sitting outside there in October in an autumn morning in the sun with his coat on, chatting to a couple of neighbours, and some kids around about, if I saw that, if I just saw that, for me that would tell me that it had worked.
There are 3 words that describe the current state of affairs on this scheme, and they are kick, bollock, scramble. The first residents are finally about to move in, and it's far from the Eden that I've promised. The whole thing is not as I wanted this to be. I wanted it to be phased, to be gentle, to have the scheme ready, so that we could spend our time with residents, and instead it's just chaos.
There you go. I've got to deal with this gentleman. Do you need me for anything else?
Goodbye.
Oh, thanks. This is the tightest it's ever been for me on any job I've ever done. All right, where's your 2 lads? Once these are done, we need to get these next 4 buttoned up. Where are they meant to be? It's not just our fault. Everyone's had a part to play in the delays and why we're late, but we're just trying to do what we can to get people in and keep as many people happy as possible. There's no trapezes, but it does feel like it, yeah.
None of the green spaces are even ready, and I'm more and more worried that all the team building that we've done will go to waste.
It isn't in its most perfect, glorious, beautiful state, and I kind of think unless you can sort of give something over in its most glorious, beautiful state, you've got to show people how it can be before, it just narks me when things aren't quite right.
It may be a building site outside, but in 22 hours this will become somebody's home. I've invested 5 years of my life and half my savings into this dream, and now it's a reality. Like every grand designer, it's a moment I've both dreamt of and slightly dreaded.
Nice toilet roll holder. Really nice toilet roll holder. It feels very light. Kitchen looks really smart. That is a miracle, how that's turned out. And what I particularly like is from outside looking in, you see the arch of the tap. I know it's an odd thing, but it's like, it just looks really, it's like a little bit of jewellery in the window, No grass yet. Where's the grass? There's some seed. Glass for that is coming tomorrow. It's coming the same day as the residents. Where the bloody hell's the letterbox? I'll tell you what I haven't tried. This time tomorrow, there'll be people living here. That's amazing. I find that amazing. It's that magical moment where the project turns into something alive.
It's nice moving on to a building site.
I know what plot it is, but I don't got a
it's
clue.
about 2 or 3 from the end, isn't it? Just there, I think.
I don't actually know where my house is.
Nope.
And there isn't any numbers, is there? How do I know which one's 7?
I don't know which one's mine.
Are they going to put numbers on the doors?
You're there.
Yay! Good girl.
Look, it's our new home.
Shall I let him out? Sky! You stupid dog!
For publicans, Tracy and Russell, the move takes them out of emergency housing.
Dimitri's bedroom.
Mums, Julie and Laura get their own bedrooms again, free of kids.
Got some champers.
For Lynn and Ted, it's a step back on the property ladder.
Oh, that's very sweet. It's not a bill, is it?
Welcome to the triangle. It's all yours now. Enjoy it, Kevin.
Bless him.
Wipe your feet.
At 4 p.m, the builders pack up, leaving the first residents in peace.
It's real sweet, this garden, though, isn't it?
I think it's lovely.
I do, I like it. It's lovely.
I think it makes a difference as well because the ceilings are really high.
High.
See, if that was lower, you wouldn't get such a view, but it just feels like you're outside, so it.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? That is nice.
That has impressed the shit out of me.
Our pioneer residents are in, but waking up to dust, dirt and noise with no wild meadow village green and barren back gardens is hardly giving them the best start to a more sociable, healthy and happy life.
Doesn't look like a place you'd want to live, does it, this place, at the moment? It looks like a really intense building site.
Not only that, half the community haven't even been able to move in yet. But one of the shared vegetable gardens is ready.
I think we'll probably plant up all the chives first and see how far they take us, and then we can leave a little space and put the parsley in.
To galvanise things, I'm bringing along some plants from home. I want to try and make this the community hub.
Hello.
Hello, we've come to give a hug.
Oh, Laura, how are you?
All right.
Good. Oh, hello. Hello, Dimitri.
Hi.
Yeah, you can come do some planting. You can come plant some chives.
Julie is one of the few with green fingers.
Bit bigger, bit bigger. Good man. Soil's good, isn't it? Yeah, that's good.
One more, and one more, and one more.
Go in this one.
Terry and June.
That's not the good life.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's Felicity Kendall.
Come out here on my own and do it, but if the kids wanted to come out, I'd come and do it with them. It's quite relaxing, isn't it?
Therapeutic.
It is therapeutic, actually.
We've planted lettuces here and thyme over there and something else.
See, I didn't expect any of them to come out, but they just saw us here and just started joining in. It's great. It's going to take some looking after.
It's lovely to see the first seeds of community life. But not everyone's in yet. For Clint, stuck in his upstairs flat, the ongoing delays have had serious consequences.
I come up the stairs here and just fell over. And my sort of vision went a bit funny and bang! And it was dead weight. So I led there for a little bit thinking that's going to hurt.
When we had the house viewing, they said it's going to be a week from then, and me and my dad looked at the house and we thought it's not going to be a week from now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, it doesn't take a genius to sort of work it out, really.
And it's not just Clint who's upset by the ever-shifting move dates.
There's a lot of delays. A lot of people saying, fuming, you know. My move has been moved for the 6th time to the 4th of August. Jeez. When do you expect handover of the flats? Next week. That's Monday or Friday?
I just said next week. Don't.
You did. I know. That's why I'm asking.
Can't pin me down. No, it'll be Wednesday or Thursday of next week.
Okay, middle of next week. So I don't want to get his hopes up too much, but he's good. That's good news. And how else is it going? Dare I ask?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know as well as me, it's a battle, but we're getting there.
Certainly looks like a war zone. I want to check on the state of Clint's ground floor apartment.
Okay, bathroom, bedroom, got a private terrace, east facing. This is meant to be ready 2 months ago.
But the 4-bed houses opposite Clint's flat are finally ready, and families have moved in. I'm called over the road by an unhappy customer.
Hello, Kit, how are you? You're right.
Very good.
I gather you've got a problem.
We think we've got a bit of a problem, yeah, with rear access.
There's your parking, there's your door.
So, yeah, got a space there, all nice. But unfortunately, the handle, lovely handle, there's absolutely nothing on this side at all.
That's because there's no lock on this. There's no means of getting in, is there? It's clearly a problem, and it's also clearly a mistake.
Yes. Looks.
Because the point is you've got to get in the back. So we have to address it.
Good.
I don't know what the solution will be. I have a horrible feeling it's going to be very expensive. Nobody said, how do you get into the houses from the back when you park? We just assumed, you know what I mean? Everybody just assumed. Everybody. This is just a cock-up. Oh dear, I hope there aren't any more like that.
It's the end of August, and at last, everyone has moved in. But there's a problem with getting into the 4-bedroom houses. I've called in the architects to see what we can do. They were designed with parking in the back garden, but our oversized Scandinavian patio doors don't have handles on the outside, and it's not possible to put them on now.
There's no way technically that you can fit a handle to this and retrofit it to this design.
The frame is so thin, you cannot get a external key access in there. We are looking at now a solution where you've got the parking out in the front.
Are you talking about redesigning the front in order to accommodate more parking on that?
Redesigning the front in order to reconfigure the way the cars are parked.
We spent days designing a parking strategy that reduces the visual impact of cars and puts people first.
So taking the spaces out of the garden, putting them out in the front.
Before you know it, the whole place is a car park, it's all tarmac, and there's nowhere for children to play, there's nowhere for people to socialise, there's nowhere for... you can't stand in the road and drink a cup of tea. I just do not want this place to become Car City.
For all my objections, there is no other solution. That's one green battle lost. And it's not the only one. There's much less tarmac than on a normal estate. But it's not the recycled tarmac I wanted because of highways red tape. And our wild meadow never got a chance to grow, so we're having to turf the village green instead. Months late, and at last the builders have gone.
Hello, you. Hello, you.
The residents are getting to grips with the idea of sharing the vegetable gardens.
I don't quite understand how the concept of it's going to work, because I know not everybody's going to want to be involved, but then everybody might want to benefit from the products that we're growing.
Yeah.
And if they did want to have some of the stuff, are they going to?
What's the basis? It may well be that only those people who garden benefit. It's up to you to decide, really. I mean, it really is. I mean,
if they want to share it, but they don't want to get involved in the garden, then make a contribution.
They might buy, or buy the seeds, or buy you some potting compost, or for that matter, they might do 3 hours babysitting. Goodbye, all.
This scheme was all about getting people to be sociable and to share more. It's time now for me to take a step back to see if it can work long term.
We need to get together and get this sorted out, don't we?
The residents are coming together tonight to elect a garden committee.
You need a chairman, you need a secretary. You need to get that sorted first before you can relate to
secretary. I'd say perhaps this lady, because she's the one that shouts a lot, chairman.
Right, so you...
Because it's going to be quite a big job.
Yeah, no, it should be okay, but perhaps we could do 2 of us.
Should we do that bit between us then? Yeah. I can be wherever I want to be.
We're going to need someone to take on the treasurer role.
Hi, can we have your attention, please? Hello. Order in the room. Julie, Tracy and Adele are going to be the chair people.
So
Gail's going to be our treasurer.
Kit.
And he's just going to look good.
I think you might find it a bit of a struggle having 3 chairs.
No, we're not 3 chairs, we're just sharing the responsibility.
Didn't really know what I was doing at the time. My hand just kind of went up in the air all by itself, and then before I knew it, I was like standing there. And then before I knew it, I was like chair lady. Which, you know, I know about gardening. You don't have to be brains, do you, to be a chair lady? I've got a mouth, I can speak and I can plant.
Left to their own devices, and with Julie leading the way, the gardening club are quick to get going.
Over here, girls, we have hanging baskets and terracotta pots to do.
In a drive to get more residents involved, they've arranged a community day.
Dipped your brush in too far, didn't you?
Take off. Wow, that's wicked.
Oh, that's lovely.
But it's proving difficult to recruit new members.
Yeah, no, we haven't had a lot of interest, so to speak. I think what's going to happen is that the committee are going to just do the garden between themselves and then sell vegetable boxes, make people want them.
That's it, do the bottom ones there, look lads. Some people want to get involved in stuff and some people don't. Those who do, you know, become good friends. You know, give it time, it'll get better.
It's perhaps not going to be the whole community gardening together as I'd hoped, but at least they're making their own decisions.
Well, you know, for the first time it's looking properly, you know, tidy, isn't it? It's diagonal parking here now, obviously except for this person. It's looking good, isn't it? It's looking all right.
It's 5 years and 5 months since I set off to build my very own grand design.
Brought me a great deal of pain, this project, and a great deal of angst, and a great deal of heartache. But that makes me smile, seeing Russell go out on his bike. What I'm most pleased with here is what you've done, these low-energy buildings which are spacious and light and low impact and have got carbon locked into them, and we've done it for Standard Housing Association budget, and we've delivered this as well as part of that budget. Right at the beginning, I said, I want the scheme to demonstrate to house builders that you can do brilliant stuff for the same money, and we've done it.
But do the residents agree?
Hey, Laura.
Hello.
How are you?
Why?
Lovely weather.
It is, isn't it?
How's your house?
Well, it hasn't fallen down yet.
Oh, what a relief! Is it?
Yeah, so I need to get the carpets cleaned anyway. I haven't even got the heating on.
Yeah.
And I haven't had to put the heating on, and it's just so warm. It's nice because
It is nice. You have got the heating on now?
No, I've got no heating on.
That's just your heat recovery doing that. It's amazing. It feels really warm in here. Look at it. It's
not as bad, because obviously she's got all her toys under there, so you can't really see them all.
So, have you got enough storage yet?
No.
You said to me once, I needed a mother to help me design these houses.
Yeah, you did. I think you failed along some lines, didn't you?
Really? Really?
No, I love my house and I'm very, very grateful.
Now then.
Hello, Kevin.
How are you? Good, how are you? Can I come in?
Thank you, of course you can.
Nice to see you. You well?
You too, yeah.
How's your house?
It's like having a villa in Spain. Everybody says it when they come in here, doesn't it? And if they come in and they haven't been here before, it's like, oh, it's like being on holiday. But we always think when we enter the triangle, we're not in Swindon. We get that, don't we?
It's slightly ironic given that what we wanted to do was make something that felt very much like part of Swindon, but yeah, never mind. Look at you. Can I come in? Yeah, how are you?
I'm good.
And these two, how are they settling in, all right?
Do you know what? They're so much more relaxed. It's different as well. I think maybe because I'm enjoying it. You know, I wake up and
And you're relaxed.
And I know that I'm not going to have one of these really down days.
You seem much more chatty.
Yeah. I'm happy now. I really am happy. And Jamie's much more happier.
Really?
Yeah. My children are more happier as well, so that's nicer.
Yeah.
I know all the people along there, and all the people along there, and all the people along there.
Over the past few months, the residents have really taken ownership of this place, with not just a gardening club, but a residents' association and neighbourhood watch up and running. It's not all committee meetings. Today they've decided to have one big communal housewarming party.
It's nice, isn't it?
And they've invited me.
Yeah, good. It's like village fete.
We've got the bouncy castle in there, we've got the mosquito.
Hey, Dimitri. Yeah, good, how are you? Don't stop. Yum.
Everyone's out, aren't they? It's a bit cold.
Everyone's friendly, all my neighbours are friendly. It is a nice awakening after living in my quiet place, you know.
It's like little EastEnders down here.
I grew up in a village, and this is the kind of community spirit you get. This was about trying to make places where people feel slightly happier, feel better, feel more enriched, feel more connected to each other, a little bit more in control of their lives. It is the design process, design, which has got us here. And in that, I feel absolutely vindicated.
I'm Tracy from number 23. It's been difficult, I know, but I think now we're all together and we're all making friends, I think now we can call ourselves a community, do you?
Yeah. I think you've got great neighbours, Trace.
I love my neighbours, I love everybody.
They love you too.
So thank you, Kevin, Luke, everybody's involved.
But I'm not going to stop now. I've got 3 projects to do in Oxford. We go up to that boundary there. The new building goes about where that hedge is. We put more fruiting apple trees around it. Another one in Stroud, looking at other ones in the West Country. I mean, I'm you know. Here we put a rooftop garden on with raised beds, a little tree house eventually, you know, on stilts up there with a viewing observatory at the top. Doesn't stop here.
Over 100,000 people have already signed up to our Great British Property Scandal campaign to reuse our empty homes. To help make a difference, go to channel4.com/Kevin and follow the link. Next tonight, they may have electricity and telephones, but the Mennonites have their own rituals, living with the Amish in a few minutes.